Hi, this is Blinky, broadcasting almost live from the Boscoyo Broadcast Studios. You're listening to the second season of the Professional Triers podcast.
Oh, yeah!
Remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. And now here are your hosts, the Professional Triers.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Professional Triers. I'm here with my handsome co-host, Brian.
Woohoo! Hey.
And I think because everybody in the world's on Zoom, there's a lag, so you're just going to have to deal with that because I don't have time for editing that. But we're here with the new answer guy, the guy who probably gets no sleep at all in the Christmas light industry because he just had a new baby, Mr. Tom Stallings. How you doing?
Good. How's it going, guys? Glad to be here.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Is that baby sleeping all night now?
No. No.
Still doesn't know night from day yet.
She started to get the night and day thing, but it's still, 3, 4 a.m. feeding and stuff like that. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've done that twice now. I'm good. I don't want to do it again.
2 and done. No more.
Yeah, I hear you. First. So we'll see if a second comes.
Well, good luck to that.
Once again, the Professional Triers Holiday Lighting Show has raised the bar, teaming up with another awesome sponsor, Zazzle, to provide you, our VIP listeners, with some cool, awesome, one-of-a-kind Professional Triers gear, including the Hot or Not shot glass, the Blinky Flashy Lowdown notebook, the Professional Triers Blinky Gear beer stein, the ever-so-popular David Peace Not a Vendor t-shirt, the must-have Robert Petty Make Rob Great Again t-shirt, the one-of-a-kind Jordan Nash
Do you like my decorations?
t-shirt, and of course the must-have Professional Triers Blinky t-shirt, and much, much more. You can even create your own one-of-a-kind Professional Triers gear. So go to trierswag.com, that's TRIERSSWAG.com, and get your Professional Triers gear today.
And I closed everything on my screen, so now I don't have my questions. So I have to pull it up on my phone. So looking very unprofessional.
Well, while he's doing that, Tom, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? What makes Tom tick?
Well, my name's Tom Stallings. I live in Palmetto, Florida. I have been doing IT for about 15 years. A little bit more involved in it than that, but I'll just say IT. Besides Christmas, I love to fish and get out there and hunt, but I don't really do much hunting in Florida anymore. I'm from Virginia originally, so the difference between deer sizes is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, well, other than that, that's
Didn't
go ahead.
Didn't sound like you had a Floridian accent, so.
No, not at all. I'm originally from Virginia. I was born in North Carolina, grew up mostly in Virginia, and in a town called Farmville, a matter of fact.
I used to play that once upon a time.
Yeah, that's why I figured I'd mention it, because it literally was called Farmville, and had 2 universities there, Longwood University and Hampton-Sydney, which are pretty famous. So, yeah, that's all we did is ride around in our trucks and hunt, fish, and went to school. That's about it.
Yeah.
And hung out at
Back in the good old
Walmart.
days.
So how did you get into this whole crazy Christmas light thing?
Well, so my dad was really into Christmas. My mother was too, but my dad was always the one with the lights. And he always wanted to just totally out decorate, Clark Griswold style. Never really had enough money to do it and stuff like that. So, we always would piece part a bunch of stuff just like most people. And when I finally, met my wife and stuff like that, she knew I was really into Christmas. And every house we lived at, we'd always do the Home Depot icicle lights and just pretty much everything. And problem is when you're renting from people, I don't know, at least for us, it's like every 2 years something comes up. We had one owner foreclosed on, so we had to move out. We had one owner decided to sell it, so we had to move out. And then 2 years later, we had one owner decided she wanted to move back in after college.
Oh, wow.
So it's like every 2 years we had to keep moving. It's like, geez. And every house is different, so you got to get either more lights or less lights. And you know, it just got crazy. So finally, when we bought the house that we're in now, which is on 4 acres, we said we're going to do it. And the day after Christmas, the first year we moved in October. The day after Christmas in December, she's like, go ahead and order it. I didn't waste a beat. I knew exactly what I wanted. Ordered China before she can come back and say no. So that's it.
And that started the Pixel Light show, right?
Yeah, that's what started the Pixel show. I went straight. I almost went LOR route, but being in the IT world, I absolutely hate the licensing model. So with like Meraki and stuff like that. So when I saw the licensing model for LOR, I said, no, I don't want that. So then I started researching. I actually spent like a day with Vixen, and I was like, this is way too complicated. And that's when I found X-Lights, and ever since then, that's pretty much where I went, the direction I went.
You didn't go to the wrong Vixen site, did you?
Probably.
I guess there's more than one out there that Jordan found by accident. So
Nice.
Yeah, I had Vixen for like a day. Well, maybe like 3 weeks. I didn't spend like a full day playing on it, but like in the evening times.
Right.
Yeah, I never even messed with it. I got onto the right YouTuber and kind of followed him. Thank you, Jeff. Followed him. So I did waste about a day and a half watching, what was his name? Tightwad Builds, and he was doing an Arduino build, and he had like 7 parts to it. And I spent about a day and a half watching him, and I'm like, I don't think this is what I want to do. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. And then I stumbled upon Candace Bader Christmas and then started following him. So tell us something about yourself that nobody really knows.
Not many people know this except for the people in my build party, but believe it or not, I'm an IT guy. So I'm all about electronics and gizmos and gadgets and stuff like that. But I actually really enjoy to do woodworking, and my garage is set up for, I got a really nice table saw, and I built some, entire walnut dining room tables, and, do the turning bowls and plates and stuff like that. So it's something to get my mind off of it. Yeah.
You got a lathe and everything you do all the cutting with the lathe and stuff?
Absolutely. I got a lathe.
That looks so awesome.
Yeah, I got a CNC. Got one of those inventable CNCs last year, so we're going to start making some wood stuff this year. And of course, now that I have a daughter, I'm gonna be building a lot of stuff for her room. So, I love woodworking. Now the problem is I'm not the greatest finish carpenter, so I could build awesome stuff, but the finish carpentry is, spray paint, and I'm good.
You get one solid color. Oh shoot! Well, that is awesome. I would have never thought that. So
yeah.
So have you ever done anything with the Living Edge?
I have not done Living Edge yet. I have done epoxy. I have filled in some, some old cherry wood that has some holes in it. So I've done that, but I have not done the live edge stuff yet. It's something I'm going to try to probably tackle this year, but I haven't done that yet. No.
I'm in the middle of making a river desk for my office at work, but I'm putting like old glass C9s in the river.
Nice.
But my first layer is white epoxy with pixels in it, overlaid so you can't see them, so it'll light up, and then the clear with the old C9s and like Christmas decorations inside of it. So
that'd be cool. Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
That sounds very cool.
That's really cool though that you're into the woodworking stuff. I would have never thought that.
Yeah, most people don't. So
yeah.
I guess the other thing would be that I've played guitar all my life, so not many people know that either.
That's pretty good too. Damn.
Yeah.
Tom's pretty awesome. More than the answer guy here. He could also answer all your questions, make you a table, and sing you a song.
Well, I don't know about the singing part, but I can play you a song.
That's pretty cool.
Nope.
I think we could get him to sing a song.
Anything acoustic. You got the guitar. I don't see the guitar in the background. You might
Man,
have to
that's
go
in the
dig it out of the
house.
closet.
That's in the house.
Yeah, we need a new ending song, Tom. If you could work now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian doesn't know. Brian doesn't. No, I'm just kidding.
I go straight to dueling banjos. I just
That was good.
Oh goodness.
think we
So how
lost
does your
JR.
family? I feel like that's gonna be a new shirt. Brian doesn't know.
Could be.
Yeah. How does your family handle your hobby? Are they supportive, or is there some? I know she initially said go get it, but how does she feel now that it's so big?
Surprisingly, she is actually very supportive of it. I originally started where she had to slow me down, and now I have to slow her down because she wants to add this and that, and wants to make this bigger, and like we made our mega tree bigger last year, and she wanted to add lights to the house. We did that, so she wants to add just as much stuff as I do. It's just unfortunately pricing and stuff like that. This year, though, we're doing very minimal, because with the new baby and stuff like that. So we've been aggressive for 2 years straight. This year will be, kind of less, but she's very supportive of it. My family loves it as well. My mom brings all of her old coworkers. She retired, but all of her coworkers over, and my entire family from that's about an hour away comes over and stuff like that. So it's, sometimes the late at nights and helping people out, she gets upset with sometimes, but other than that, she loves it.
That's good. That's just wait until your kid's old enough to really know what the lights are going about, and then you'll be like, God damn, I gotta spend more money. Like once the kids get into it, and like how much they like it, and they're just like mesmerized by it. It's just that's what made like my display was always kind of big, but then my sister had kids, and then I had my daughter. Like my sister had twins, and I had my daughter, and like their second Christmas, you could tell how excited they were about stuff. And like we would go to Lowe's and they wanted inflatables. That's when I added Disney inflatables. But they wanted inflatables and they were into it. And then my display like exploded because of kids.
Yeah,
just wait for that.
I'm expecting that, but I'm still a kid, so I don't know who will add more, her or me. So we'll see.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Hi, this is Blinky, and now it's time for our favorite segment, Flashpoint. As fast as you can, tell us all about the details of your display.
And go.
All right, so I have 3 F-16s, 4 expansion boards, 2 F-48s, 2 FP8s, FPV8s, the Dan Cole boards. Actually, I have 3 of those. 2 Pi hats, and that's it as far as controllers. I use X lights. I use X scheduler. I have its own dedicated computer. First year I did 12,340 pixels. Last year I did 28,120. And I use Ray Wu pigtails, and that's about my display.
Now here's a guy that was prepared for this because it looked like you were looking at notes.
Yeah, I had notes over here because you said it was speed round, so I was like, I'm going to have this ready.
That was awesome. See, future people are going to be on the show. Be as ready as Tom.
That's right.
That was perfect. Everybody else is like, I think that's what I got.
Send you the notes prior.
Yeah. That was pretty good. That was the best one we've had because you had notes. It was perfect.
Well, hey, I actually didn't know how many lights I actually had last year. I mean, I knew how many I had for Halloween, but I never figured out my Christmas. So I was like, I really kind of want to know that.
Yeah, I don't know how many lights I have because I have pixels and LEDs, and I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
You
So
can bring
what-
it up.
What? I could bring
So
it
you
up?
can bring it up. Well, not you because you got a lot of AC. So
So what would you say is your most popular prop?
It's a tough one. So I think my first year had to be my Living Light Show snowflakes, the 36-inch ones, I think, the 35s. Last year was definitely my mega tree. I did a 44 by 170, 180 mega trees, 31 feet tall. That and my 2 8-foot snowflakes from Viscoyo were my most popular last year. Oh, and pea steaks. Sorry. I had 350 pea steaks, and people love that.
350?
that's cool.
Yeah.
Holy
Mhm.
crap,
That's a
that's a lot.
Yeah, I regretted every bit of it when I went to put those bad boys out. Let me tell you.
How far apart are they spaced?
I did exactly 3 feet apart, both directions, up and left and right. So it was
Yeah.
putting out the grid and staking it down, and wind knocking it down every other night. So it was interesting. I'll definitely be doing something different this year. I'll still be doing that many in that distance because I like the what do you
The
call it?
effects from it.
Yeah, the effects from it. I like being, like my mini trees. I got 4 on the left. I got to be 4 on the right. I forget the word for it, but I have to be
Symmetrical.
symmetrical. There we go.
Is that the word? Okay.
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah,
Yeah.
coffee. Yeah, that's the other word.
Well, being where you're at and stuff, do you have any issues with your neighbors? You're kind of back out of the way. So have you had any issues with your neighbors or anything?
Actually, no. The community has been fantastic with it. So we're right on the corner of 2 main roads that come together. My neighbor, he has 5 acres. He doesn't do any. I mean, he does do Christmas lights, but he doesn't do a lot. But he absolutely loves it. He brings his whole family over for the Halloween one, at least, because they do a big family get together in October. It's like 200 people. It's like ridiculous, but they come over and watch the Halloween show. So he's actually very supportive. He actually helped me because he's got access to a bucket truck, so he helped me put up some stuff. And the only problem I have is the road, the main road that's over here. People were blocking traffic. Cops had to break it up a couple times and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, the community's been great. Had a news crew or a newspaper come out and do an interview last year, so it was interesting.
Those are always fun.
Well, because it's funny because one of the things that I have 28,000 lights, and people are like, "Holy crap! I only got 10,000." Well, I have I can't really show you my display, but I have a garage that's a 2-car garage. It's got 2 offices inside of it. It's like 4,000 square feet, and then I have a house too that's separate, totally separated. So my 28,000 lights, I still feel like is not enough. Like I can't fill it up enough because of the size of it. So it's kind of weird how that works out because I think I won't be happy till I hit maybe 45, 50,000 pixels, somewhere around there. So
Yeah, that's the pain with having a lot of room out in front of your house is it just never looks right because you got so much dark area, and then I don't like props overlapping. I want to be able to see it. So trying to spread it out where it's spread out, but it's not overlapping. One's not taking over the other effects going on that prop. So
right, absolutely.
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
That's why you got to go regular LEDs. Regular LEDs to fill in the black areas.
Fill in. I know. You got to send me that. You got to send me that link again.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about doing some regular LEDs, and I may do that because it's kind of unique because I'm on a corner property. There's an acre right in front of my house that I guess got split up along the way when this used to be 5, and now it's 4 and 1. And this idiot up front don't want to sell his house to me. No, he's an idiot. I mean, the house is like condemned. I mean, it literally looks like if you come down my driveway, it looks like a spooky driveway. because the house it's not livable, and he thinks that some gas station is going to come in and buy him out, at $150,000, and the thing has asbestos siding and stuff like that. And I'm like, I will give you what you paid for it, which I think he paid like $34,000. I'll give you that, which is way more than what the land is worth, but it's going to cost me, 30, 40 grand just to knock it down because of the environmental stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I'm thinking about if I can get that property to where I'm going to knock that down and actually make a drive-through. So I'm hoping to do that, and I may do LEDs in that part. So we'll see.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
If anybody knows his neighbor, tell him he's an idiot and sell it to Tom.
Well, I mean, he knows that. I mean, my neighbor beside him's trying to buy him because we don't want anybody to buy it because it's,
Yeah.
it's pointless land. I don't know. It's stupid. Don't get me started.
Too late.
So I know you're pretty new to the hobby and you just got into this, but if you were to start over today, what would you do different?
Not become the answer guy? No, I'm just kidding. I would say buying stuff too early. There was a lot of times that I would buy things that I thought I was going to use, and I'm not going to bash anybody here, but I bought some stuff from certain vendor that was running pre-sales, and I bought a couple of those things, and it ended up being not what I wanted, and everything I bought in that pre-sale I never used. The controllers or anything like that. I did use the 16x50 strips, but I moved the controller over to Falcon, and stuff like that. So, well, I guess I kind of gave it away, but that's okay.
There's other controllers.
Didn't catch it at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was more or less like I knew I wanted a tree. I knew I wanted some arches, and I just went and I bought, not thinking about how I was going to put it together. So I would say that was probably, if I wanted to redo it, that would be what I would do. Yeah.
Yeah. If you could travel around anywhere in the world, what are the top 3 displays you'd want to go see in person?
I think I would love to see Tom Bet George's. I got to meet Candace Spader last year at Expo, and he was absolutely just incredible to talk to. So I'd love to go see his show. And I'd probably say and I don't know the name of it, the drive-through that Clyde and them do.
Oh, Arizona?
I'd love to go see that.
In Arizona.
Yeah, I'd love to go see that. Yeah.
That thing would be awesome. That looks so cool.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So since you're the answer guy, what tips do you have to somebody new getting into the hobby? Your top 3 tips.
Top 3 tips. Do not buy stuff until you know what your actual plan is going to be. Plan where you're going to put stuff, how much you're going to need. You may not know the exact numbers and stuff like that, but you can get pretty darn close. So do your research. Number 2 would be decide which voltage you're going to go with. Too many people buy 5-volt because it's cheaper, and then when they actually start putting it in real life, they're like, holy crap, I should have went 12-volt just because it goes longer and stuff like that. By the way, I do all 12-volt. I know that was one of the things I was supposed to answer, but and I'd say the third thing is don't be afraid to ask people for their input, but don't take it as if there's so many different ways to do the same thing in this hobby. So get a bunch of people's input. Don't just take somebody's input for that's the way it's got to be, because that's not the way it has to be. My view on stuff, and I had a couple consultations I did last year, is I would rather throw more controllers out of my display than I would rather than do power injection. But then there's some people that's going to preach power injection. But to me, the cost savings to the different boxes you have to build does not equal the same thing to me. Just throw another port at it to me. So.
Yeah.
Sorry, John
I agree
Spiker.
100% with that.
Sorry, John Spiker.
What do you think is the next must-have prop? You got all kinds of stuff coming out. There's a ton of them out there.
You know, and I haven't paid attention to all of them. I'm really liking the and I actually got a couple with those 3D Christmas trees from Viscoyo. I'm really loving those for the daytime looks. I got the 8-foot ones.
Nice.
And there was one from Gilbert Engineering that I kind of like, and I forget the name of it. It's the modular wreath, I think it's called.
I don't know.
I'm not sure I know which one that is.
I don't know. The problem is everybody's coming up with these like mesmerizer and mother of all wreaths and blah, 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 and I'm just like, you know,
Names are getting complicated.
Interesting. They are getting complicated, and it's like, okay, well, that sounds like 1,000,000 pixels. Oh, that sounds like 1,000,000 pixels. So it's getting interesting how they're getting more dense.
Well, let me kind of piggyback on that question then. Would you prefer, or do you like more dense props or bigger props with the same amount of pixels, like the 8-foot snowflakes?
For me and my display, it makes more sense for the bigger prop. So my problem is, you know, for instance, my tree is 31 foot, and there's only one topper that can go on it, and that's the 8-foot Icasa from Viscoyo.
That's a horrible idea.
And that's a horrible idea because I tried the small 4-foot Icasa, and I about threw it out the window because I cut my hand so many times.
Did you build a 4-foot too?
I was trying to build a 4-foot when I got so frustrated with it that I just I ended up going with the 46-inch star from my 32 by 100. So, you know, yeah, I was one of those guys with a big tree and a small star, but that's okay. I'm going to fix that this year. So, to me, I would rather have bigger props and more modular props, so I can break it down to 4 foot and make it an 8-foot prop or a 12-foot prop, because I have more land, and you do too, Brian.
Yeah.
And a dense prop on from my viewing distance is, you know, at least 200 feet. It doesn't make sense. The dense props do me no good. So.
Yeah. See, that's why I'm trying to stretch everything out closer to the dirt road with the more dense props, so the effects don't get lost.
Right.
You know, and I'm turning down my show to 20% this year, maybe even 10%, or X lights I'll knock it down to 70% and then adjust the other percentage out of the Falcons. So because it gets lost, you know, they drowned out the effects.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. With me too, is like I have such a big display. I'd rather have more props with pixels in them than one prop with all my pixels in it. You know, some of these new spinners have my first mega tree.
I will say not the mother of all wreaths, the Rosa wreath is absolutely fantastic. I would say I totally forgot that was one of my top props last year. Was the Rosa wreath. They really, really look good with effects. So
very cool.
Yeah, those high density props do look good with effects. It's just I rather have more props for my pixels. I guess that's how we put it, right? More props for my pixels than pixels in one prop.
Right. Agreed. Yeah. I have no desire in getting the super duper spinners and stuff like that, because to me, when you look at it, you might as well just put a matrix up and submodel a wreath.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, true. Yeah, I wanted to go with the 8-foot snowflakes this year, but with everything else coming out, I'm like, okay, next year with the 8
are nice.
I already got a plan for them where they're going to go, but
no, the 8-foots are nice, man.
Yes, I remember those.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian, you must admire them.
Yeah.
But see, I ordered my 8-foots with actually less pixels in them.
Did you?
Yeah, I just went with the basic outline.
Okay.
I didn't
That's
do
interesting. Yeah.
like the thinner lines in them. I didn't do that. I just did basic outlines.
That's cool.
So
that's cool.
I also put
awesome
white
too,
pixels in them because they were in my LED display.
Uh-huh.
So I ordered just solid white pixels from RGB Man, and I just put them in there, and I had white snowflakes. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
So I don't even know where we are on questions because
So
we
are
keep
you.
bouncing around like crazy, and like I got lag and
Number 9.
yeah. Well, thank you, Brian, for the official number. Okay, but I was gonna go somewhere else, but I guess I'll just go to number 9 to stay on track. What?
Oh, okay. You can go anywhere you want.
No,
Go
it's
anywhere
fine.
you want.
It's fine. Brian's the boss now. What's the most interesting interaction you've had with somebody?
Okay, so I had 2 last year, but I'd have to say my favorite had to be there was this older couple. Well, there were 2 ladies. One was probably in her 70s. One was, in her 65, 60, something like that. And they came to my light show almost every single night, high as kites. They would. They literally would pull in my yard. Sometimes get stuck because it would rain, and I'd be like, "Please don't pull there." They'd pull there anyway, and they'd be smoking dope the entire night for like hours. They'd be there for hours in the car watching the light show, and I'm just like, "Holy crap!" And I mean, these are old ladies, and it's like they were nice as could be, but it's just like you guys are hilarious. I mean, they're coming in high and smoking.
So you
I
had
couldn't
a
believe it.
couple
I mean, it was
stoner grandmas that would sit there and get high in their car and
absolutely,
watch your lights.
absolutely.
They were definitely
Yep.
this
Ooh, pretty lights.
all night.
Pretty much. When one of my
That's a
big hits
fact.
last year was Skill Rex from Ron Howard, and oh my gosh, those ladies would go nuts over that song. But I guess because of all the that was a pretty crazy song from a sequencing perspective. So yeah, I'd say it's that one, and then I had 2 kids that I mean, well, I say kids, but they're 16, 17 that they dropped them off in my yard, and then the other ones went up on the road to watch the show, and then they ran across the road, and one of the guys ran straight into one of my trees and knocked himself out literally for about a minute.
Oh,
Being
geez.
stupid. I mean, he literally smacked right into a tree. And
Oh man.
yeah, that was kind of crazy. So I don't think my wife was here for that one. I forgot to tell her about that one. So it's some things people do, I just can't believe it. I'm sure y'all have some similar stories, I hope.
Oh yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If not, I'm shutting my show down this year.
Yeah, no, Brian got to see some of my stories in live action. Like we're setting up lights, and then all of a sudden there's
Yep.
people in my orchard. Not even time for the display. We're just setting up lights, and there's people in my orchard taking pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, don't forget about the ones with the school project.
Oh yeah.
Where were they were doing something in the orchard for a school project, and I was working on the 8-foot snowflakes and stuff, and they were right there. So I'm like, hey guys, I gotta kind of have you guys go over here so I can work on these. And just by what's going on, I'm like, oh, there's so much more involved. So yeah, they ended up getting engaged right there in the orchard. He proposed to her. So yeah,
Well,
it was
that's
kinda
awesome.
cool. Yeah, that was cool. That was
Should have sent my stoner ladies to you guys. That'd have been even funner.
So
Yeah.
you kind of already answered the last question I had for you about your props and what makes your show unique. So what is the next? You're not going to do a whole lot, and totally understand that with the baby. But what are you going to? Are you going to add anything this year?
This year I'm kind of beefing up some of my stuff. So I added a couple more snowflakes. I had 4 deer last year. This year I'm going to have all 9 with a sleigh. By the way, if you haven't seen the Biscoyo sleigh this year, the full size sleigh, it's awesome. So I'm going to add that. I'm going to try to put that on some guide wires, and I may try to animate something with that this year. Probably not. So I'm going to add that. The 8-foot 3D trees. Don't know where I'm putting them yet, but I did get 8 of those. And I actually got the green Coro and a yellow star. So it looks good during the day. And I think it's just more of just refining my design last year, finding better ways to hang it. I have my garage is party board.
There you go. Yeah.
So finding ways to hide to hang stuff on my garage, which is actually the center point of my show, was just an absolute nightmare. Because you can't use traditional vinyl hangers, hanging stuff from from the eaves and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean that's all fine and dandy, but my roof is 40 foot tall, so the wind is just going to sit there and just everything's just going to do this the whole night. I don't know. So I really want to tackle that this year, and other than that, that's really all I'm focused on this year.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, you ready? You got your notes?
I am ready.
Tom, are you ready?
I got my notes. I got my notepad.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Hi, it's Blinky again. And now it's time for our fan favorite rapid fire questions.
All right. What color is your toothbrush?
Blue.
Yeah, basic color. Cool. Brian, you ready?
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
To fly.
Why?
Why?
Yep. Why?
Sure, why?
It'd make it a hell of a lot easier to hang lights, I can tell you that.
I didn't even see JR.
I didn't
there.
either.
Hear
That's
nothing,
kinda
so
low.
almost had a little lag there.
Sorry, I'm lagging. I don't know if I'm lagging, you're lagging, whatever, but there's a lot of lagging going around. But if you worked at
Yes,
Samsung and you were a security guard, would you be the guardian of the galaxy?
No, I can't stand Samsung. I just freaking break it and throw it back at him.
Well, there goes that endorsement. No.
Okay.
If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would you call it?
Nut butter.
Nut butter. and there goes the rating.
Wait, can I say that?
I didn't do it this time.
It was just another name for peanut butter. That's not anything else.
Oh no! Oh, I totally went somewhere else.
Yeah, you took it somewhere else. If a bunch of cats jumped on top of you, is it still a dog pile?
Yes.
I should have played the new sound for that. That took a while. All right, that was good.
Oh, I'm trying to think of what would you actually call that?
I don't know. It's a PG show, so let's keep it that way.
So trying to. At a movie theater, which armrest is yours?
It's always the right.
Always the right.
Always the right. Yep. And I actually sit in my seat to make sure that I get the right. Yep.
If Apple made a car, would it have windows?
Yes, it better.
It better.
Better.
Not a self-driver.
That's right.
If animals could talk, what would be the rudest animal?
It'd for sure be a cat. Cats just look at you like, I don't even want to say what. Every cat I've ever owned, you can just tell that they're telling you, like, just go whatever to yourself. Just get away from me.
If a blind person has a dream, do they see it?
Well, yeah, because that's the dream of them seeing.
Oh, okay. That works.
Oh,
I guess.
good answer.
Yeah.
I like that one. If you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends and family think that you did? My favorite one.
Yeah, probably smacking an officer for something stupid, because I just can't stand stupid responses, and yeah, probably smacking somebody.
Yeah.
Even though I would never hit anybody, but that would probably be what they would think.
Everybody's got their limits.
Yep.
JR,
Okay. Sorry, my wife opened the garage on me, and I'm in the garage. So there was the pause of like the garage
the
door.
lighting changed.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, but your video is better. Your video is better. Maybe
My
you should open
internet's
it back
better.
up.
Can you see my cup? Oh, look, now you can see my cup. The garage is open.
Yeah, there you go. You got the good lighting on it now.
If ketchup, all right, is ketchup a smoothie?
No. Mm-mm.
Why? Tomatoes
No.
are a fruit.
Well, I mean, I understand tomatoes are a fruit, but no. Mm-mm. I don't drink ketchup out of a straw. You know what's funny is I can eat ketchup, but I cannot stand tomatoes.
I'm in the same boat.
Go figure that one out.
Really?
Same thing. I hate tomatoes, but I like ketchup.
Yep.
Oh, I could just sit there and eat tomatoes after tomato, sprinkle a little salt on it. Probably.
In the words of Jim Carrey.
My wife just told me
That was
that
awesome.
she's buy me that ketchup has a bunch of sugar in it. That's why we like it.
Well, and that's fine with me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm totally okay with that too.
Okay, this is the last one I got. If you could be a fly on a wall anywhere, where would you want to land?
Oh, fly on the wall anywhere. That's a good one. I would say, gosh, I have no clue. I mean, I guess I would say in the president's Oval Office or something, just to hear actual conversations that we never get to hear.
Yeah.
Get the secret.
That's any president.
I was thinking on I was thinking a lot smaller schedule. I'd love to be in James's office and just see how he comes up with some of the stuff he does.
You ever watched him? You ever watched him do the cat stuff? You ever watch him do the cat stuff?
Yep, some of it. Yep.
Yeah, it's just interesting how he does that. I mean, I know CAD too, but nothing like he does. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. This is your show. Go ahead.
No, you're in charge. Is it okay for me to ask the last rapid fire question?
Fire away.
Oh, Johnny says it's okay. He checked with Mama.
Okay.
You heard that.
That's good.
Tom, if you were to hang out with one of us, would it be Team JR or Team Brian?
Oh my goodness. I would say Team Brian just because we have Kubotas.
Oh, there we go.
I also have a Kubota. Two of them technically, but it's okay.
His is really small. You don't.
Yeah.
Oh, it is awesome little
It's a
machine.
5200.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
I see. I was
Right.
going to start, bringing up the shirt. So
It's all right. I think we do have a new shirt coming out of this show, though. Tom Stallings edition. Brian doesn't know.
That's
the
right.
answer guy says, "Don't go to Brian."
Nice.
Cool. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, except for the lag, it was fun.
Yeah, hopefully I will fix that in post editing. But if I don't, people, I'm sorry it lagged, but it wasn't anything we did. I hardwired because the internet use we've had. I think it's Zoom, so I'm sorry for the lag. Thank you, Tom, for putting up with our crap today. We really appreciate you being on the show, and it was a lot of fun.
Definitely.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Maybe we'll have you on. And I
All
think
right.
you have a game show, Luminosity one, coming out pretty soon. Which,
Yeah, I did. I
give
think
away who
we
won
did
on
that
that.
one. We just.
But it's recorded.
Oh,
It's gonna
nice.
air soon. So
Yeah, we got
Sweet.
so
Yep,
and
that'll be
Johnny
coming out.
is excited, as you can hear in the background, and he's just jumping up and down and smiling because he found
That's
my
all that
box
matters.
of Christmas decorations for my desk. He's ready. Well, thank you, Tom, for joining us today.
All right.
Subscribe to our podcast or our YouTube channel and our podcast and everything. And thanks for listening. Later.